Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another uneventful episode of Boring Crypto IO, where I read the boring crypto news so you don't have to. My name isn't important, and I'm your host. So, what are we doing today? Let's get into it. CZ is still backing up the fact that they had $1.4 billion worth of withdrawals yesterday. The crypto blame game on U.S. politicians menu following the SBF arrest. Mr. Sherman still talking crap about crypto. Jack Dorsey is doubling down on a decentralized Twitter alternative. And we briefly talk about the FOMC meeting coming here in just a few hours. And Sam Bankman-Fried, the wonder child of crypto right now, not in a good environment. First, the charts. Bitcoin on the daily still hasn't broken above that $18,000 level. Pretty sure with the FOMC meeting today, it's going to go ham. There's going to be whipsaws up and down. But again, like I said, I'm not feeling bullish until we get back up into the 19,000, 21 range. ETH doing the exact same thing like we saw yesterday, guys. Can't get above that 1340 level. There you have it. Uneventful, boring crypto. So CZ, we saw some withdrawals today with a net of 1.14 billion-ish. We have seen this before. Some days we have net withdrawals, some days we have net deposits. Business as usual for us. It actually is a good idea to stress test withdrawals on each CEX on a rotating basis. So CZ is saying that this is no big deal. If you go through CZ's Twitter, he basically backs up that they've seen withdrawals and deposits bigger than this in the past. There's still rumors of them being investigated for fraud in the US as well. I haven't been able to find anything like substantial news-wise on that, but it is rumored. If you're not following CZ and you want to see what's going on with Binance, just follow him on Twitter. He's pretty open about stuff. But again, just FUD in the market. Who knows if it's worth anything? It's just something to talk about. Crypto blame game back on the U.S. politicians menu following SBF arrest. I don't know if you guys watched the hearing yesterday. I caught bits and pieces of it, kind of mostly uneventful in my opinion. While U.S. Representatives Brad Sherman saw Sam Bankman-Fried as the poster child of the crypto ecosystem, Congressman Tom Emmer highlighted the crypto community's contribution to uncovering the supposed FTX fraud. You think? The arrest of former FTX CEO Sam Bankman-Fried by the Bahamian authorities served as a cue for anti-crypto proponents to reignite discussions around the dangers of cryptocurrencies. While some political leaders blame the cryptocurrency ecosystem for SBF's alleged fraud, others find no point in blaming an entire industry from one man's action. Yeah, man, they're just using, look, as much as we all knew this was going to happen, policymakers are going to use the FTX debacle as a way to just steamroll legislation. You're going to see this. During the House Financial Services Committee hearing on FTX, Congressman Brad Sherman, Mr. Sherman, paging Mr. Sherman, did not see a difference between SBF and an industry that once boasted a $2 trillion market cap, stating, "My fear is that we'll view Sam Bankman-Fried as just one big snake in the crypto Garden of Eden. The fact is, crypto is a garden of snakes. And the U.S. government isn't? What's the saying, don't throw stones if you live in glass houses, Mr. Sherman?" He also highlighted how entrepreneurs such as Sam Bankman-Fried would tell you there's a hell of a market for bankruptcy court evasion, and argued that crypto aids the tax evasion efforts of bad actors. On the other hand, Congressman Tom Emmer distanced the FTX fallout from the institution of cryptocurrencies while speaking at the hearing. Instead, Emmer argued that the immutable nature of blockchain technology helped the crypto community uncover discrepancies in the FTX token, which ultimately led to SBF's arrest. Information stored over the public blockchain will further assist law enforcement into digging into nuances of possible crimes, according to Emmer. Emmer quoted, "I encourage my colleagues to understand Sam Bankman-Fried's con for what it is, a failure of centralization, a failure of business ethics, and a crime. It is not a failure of technology." While naysayers try to link SBF's actions with the ideas of crypto and blockchain, the case for decentralization grows stronger. Public blockchain-based crypto ecosystems not only allow for traceability but can also help authorities with anti-money laundering initiatives. Despite the decade-long federal resistance toward crypto, there's still some support for crypto in the U.S. Senate. Pro-crypto Senator Cynthia Lummis believes that Bitcoin's position as a valuable inclusion to 401, which I'm not a fan of 401ks, revealing her disregard for a prolonged but temporary bear market. I'm very comfortable with making sure that people can include Bitcoin in their retirement funds because it's just different than other cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin Maxi. Loomis places her bet on Bitcoin's scarcity, which according to a quote-unquote personal belief will help increase the asset's value over time. Yeah, man, this hearing, bunch of suits talking about a market that some of them know a little bit about, most of them don't know a ton about. We'll see what happens. Jack Dorsey's back in the news. Jack Dorsey pushes for decentralized Twitter alternative. Former Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey highlighted that a solution to Twitter's censorship issues is making a platform resilient to corporate and government control, which he handed over. With the internal investigation led by Elon Musk identifying censorship-related issues on Twitter, the social platform's former CEO Jack Dorsey has promoted the idea of a free and open protocol for social media. In a post, Dorsey highlighted some potential solutions to the current problems of the Twitter platform. According to the former Twitter CEO, this includes making it resilient from corporate and government control, giving the right to remove control solely to the original author, and implementing moderation through algorithmic choice. He explained that I'm a strong believer that any content produced by someone for the internet should be permanent until the original author chooses to delete it. It should be always available and addressable. Content takedowns and suspensions should not be possible. Dorsey believes that the Twitter platform under his leadership and the current Twitter do not meet three principles that he mentioned, and blamed himself for not fighting for the platform. He wrote, "This is my fault alone, as I completely gave up pushing for them when an activist entered our stock in 2020. I planned my exit at that moment knowing I was no longer right for the company." Dorsey also noted that the biggest mistake was focusing on building tools to manage the public conversation instead of creating ones that let Twitter users manage it for themselves. This burdened the company with too much power, he added. With this, the company was also exposed to outside pressure, according to the former CEO. In a tweet, Dorsey also shared the GitHub link to a censorship-resistant open protocol that is currently being built. The project, dubbed Notes and Other Stuff Transmitted, aims to enable the creation of decentralized social networks based on cryptographic keys and signatures. On October 18th, Dorsey also announced new developments regarding Blue Sky Social, a decentralized social media project that was started in 2019. With the platform, there will be no company that can decide what becomes published. Rather, there will be a marketplace of companies deciding what to carry to their audiences. I don't know, man. We'll see. It's a good idea. I'm not mad at a decentralized social media platform, but people have been talking about this for quite some time. If I remember back in 2017, and don't quote me on this, I think that's what Tron was trying to do, Justin Sun. But we'll see. Outside of that, guys, if you're not aware, we do have the next FOMC meeting happening today in just a few hours. We will see what Jerome Powell will drop on us. Everybody's talking about a 0.5 interest rate hike. I believe it's going to happen, if not another 0.75. I know that one's a little bit out of the realm of what people think is going to happen. But in my honest opinion, watching the market, I think it just needs to keep happening. This is a band-aid that's needed to be torn off for quite some time to bring inflation down and to just get a good correction in the market. And hopefully they stick to their guns. If not, again, here's my opinion, guys. If we don't continue to stick to this interest rate hike, I do believe that we'll get a small rally of relief, but then back into hyperinflation, etc., etc. So we'll see what happens, guys. Again, the big bets are saying for a 0.5 interest rate hike. So stay tuned. See what Papa Jerome Powell is going to drop on us today. And the big story. If you don't know, Sam Bankman-Fried was just denied bail. I think he put up for like 120. Oh, here we go. He should be granted a $250,000 bail, and it was denied. So they're keeping him in some really nasty prison in the Bahamas. Let's see what they got to say. The jail that they're keeping him in. This is what we got going on. All right. It's not fit for humanity. Sam Bankman-Fried Bahamas jail is infested with rats and maggots, and inmates at high risk of TB get bed sores from laying on the ground while kids are detained with adult prisoners. What a mess. Talk about going from prince to pauper. This guy went from high rolling to in one of the nastiest prisons. I mean, I can assume are out there. On Tuesday, FTX founder Sam Bankman-Fried was remanded in custody in the Bahamas as fights extradition to the U.S. on wire securities fraud charges. SBF will be remanded at the county's only prison, the notorious Fox Hill Detention Facility. Several studies in the last 2 years found that the prison is infested with rodents and maggots. Sexual assaults were prevalent and drugs were easy to come by. Well, rumor has it he likes his drugs. One prison officer said in 2019 that violence is so prevalent at Fox Hill, inmates refuse to leave their cells to shower. I mean, yeah, this looks rough. Yeah, this looks like a really nasty prison. But here, okay, so here's my opinion on this, right? And this is clickbait. But, okay. Do I think he should be extradited to U.S.? 100%. I don't trust this jail cell. I mean, okay, look at this place. Yeah, it might be nasty and unsafe, but Look, again, not trying to go down the crazy conspiracy theory route, guys, but a jail cell in the Bahamas, in my opinion, sounds like an easy way to A, get Epsteined, B, break out. I mean, how good is their security going to be at this place? Just my opinion. Guys, I will be including a link to this news source. It's pretty long. Basically, the important details are that he was denied bail and they're keeping him in this prison. I think the judge said something along the lines as he wants him there for at least 30 days to 2 months right there. Chief Migrate Join Ferguson Pratt ordered that SBF must spend the next 2 months in the Bahamas' infamous Foxhole prison, known for its rodent infestation, violence, and mixing, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, so they're saying they're going to try and keep this guy in there for 2 months. I got to be honest, with how weird this whole thing has been and how deep this debacle seems to go, this looks like a charade to either A, silence him, snuff him out, or B, break him out. So we'll see what happens, guys. See if old Mr. Sam is actually ever going to make it to U.S. soil. Well, y'all, that's it. Hope you enjoyed this episode of Boring Crypto I.O. Tune in tomorrow morning where I will bring you the boring headlines and read them for you. If you guys enjoyed this content, per usual, turn on the bell for notifications, subscribe to the channel, like the video, and I will see you guys tomorrow morning.